going on, everybody? I am Fusion, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Welcome back to another drinks review. Today we're going to be doing the second of the Razor energy drink formula, and it is the raspberry flavor. Now, in the previous one that I did the cherry one, and I made a bit of an error because I put a little bit too much water in, as I should. So today we're going to be putting in 350 milliliters of water and see if it makes a difference or not, because I put 400 milliliters of water exact and it wasn't as strong of a taste as I was hoping. So it may have been my fault for putting too much water in, because it does say between 250 and 400 milliliters of water right there. So I'm going to try 350 milliliters of water, see if that makes a difference. But anyway, today we're doing raspberry Razor. Now, similar to the cherry one, I got this as part of a little, I guess I can call it bundle pack, but you don't get a shaker with this bundle pack. There is a bundle pack where you do get a shaker for £10, but I got the one where you get 6 flavors for £7 something, but you don't have to pay for delivery. You get a large letter option and it's completely free. So you can get 6 flavors for a little bit over £7. I'll put the link to Razorwire Energy in the description below. I keep forgetting to call it Razorwire. I call it Razor all the time. But anyway, let's get on to the review. Let's not waste any time. So this is raspberry flavor. You can get a couple flavors: apple, cherry, raspberry. Don't know if there's any other flavors. I'll have to look on the website and I'll put a screenshot if there is any other flavors. But yeah, let's look at the back of the description. So it contains all the basic stuff in that, and this one also contains the green tea extract, camelina sinensis. For the love of God, I can't pronounce any of these. It contains the exact same vitamins. It contains vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B12, vitamin B6. Basically, you're going to get a lot of your vitamins inside this, and total caffeine content is 150 grams per serving. Now, if I am correct, there are a couple of energy drink formulas out there like this that have roughly around the same, but there is one energy drink brand out there that doesn't have 150, well, between 100 and 160 milligrams of caffeine, and that is Wraith. Now, last night, this has been recorded on Sunday, last night I ordered some Wraith products, so they'll be on their way shortly. They'll be delivered to my door and I will try them out. They have around 200 milligrams of caffeine, if I am correct. If I'm not, I'll put a text on saying if I'm wrong or not. But this contains 150 grams of caffeine. In terms of G Fuel, I can't confirm how much G Fuel has. If I were to have a guess, I'd say 160. That's my estimated guess, because I saw a video by the YouTuber known as Everyday Food Reviews, and that's just my guess. I think it's 160, maybe it's less, I can't remember. This brain does not remember, so I do apologize. But anyway, moving on. Contains caffeine not suitable for children, pregnant, or people sensitive to caffeine. I am not sensitive to caffeine, so I'm perfectly fine. And contains all the vitamins and minerals per 5 servings. Very interesting. And it contains grape skin extract, beetroot red extract, and spirulina blue powder. Honestly, I'm not designed to read all of that. I'll put an image on the screen if I can of all the things you get in the back. I do. Throughout my years of doing reviews since 2016, I still have barely any clue what the hell I'm talking about the majority of the time. But basically, if you want a drink that's got high caffeine content, or roughly more content than average, then this and Wraith, which is coming, is what you want. So anyway, enough gabbling my gums. We have a shaker today. We have a different one. We have the block from Sneak. I do plan on getting a Razorwire shaker in the future, but at the moment that's not happening until I'm happy with their products. If I'm not happy with their products, I won't be buying a shaker. So until then, I have to use my Sneak shakers, which I've got like 4 at the moment. I plan on getting all of them. So without any further ado, let's go put some water in. 350 milliliters of water this time, and see if it makes a difference. And if it does, then that's the recommended amount of water that I would recommend for you if you want to get your hands on these. That doesn't apply to every energy drink formula out there, however. Some might be good with 300 milliliters of water, 400 milliliters of water, but we're putting 350 in for today's episode. So, without wasting my gums anymore, let's go to the bathroom, use the cold water because I haven't got any ice to help me out, and let's have a go of it. Okay, so I've put in 350 milliliters of water exactly. I have my sea bowl container, even though I've had to literally just wash it there. So, yeah, raspberry. Now, I've had blue raspberry before from Sneak, so this isn't realistically a fair comparing because this is just normal raspberry. Sneak has blue raspberry, and I've tried both the formula and the one in the can as well. So I can't really compare this to Sneak because that was blue raspberry, this is normal raspberry. But I know what raspberries taste like. I don't eat them all the time, but I do drink plenty of fruity raspberry drinks. So yeah, let's have a smell of it. Ooh. It's always the refreshing drinks that, well, the refreshing aroma that I get all the time from these. The one thing that these drinking formulas do well, yeah, because that makes sense. The one thing these drinking formulas do well is they always smell refreshingly clean, if that makes sense. Yeah. Right. Ooh, well, that's different. I wasn't expecting it to be that colour. So, this colour reminds me of a peachy, very peachy sort of drink, really. This is not peach. I'm pretty sure it's not peach. It is definitely raspberry. So, yeah, this is very interesting. So I have put, and I can't realistically tell, but it doesn't appear to be incredibly chalky with extract. I mean, maybe you can tell, but I can't see any extract or chalkiness to it. It is thick, I'll admit that, but yeah. So this is 350 milliliters of water in it. If this doesn't work, then I'll have to try 300, and if that doesn't work, then these ones must not be as strong as I think they are. But anyway, this is Raspberry Razorwire Energy Drink Formula. Down the hatch. Okay, yeah, I can admit this. In the last review I did, which was the cherry one, I put way too much water in. That is my critical error. 350 milliliters of water is what you want, either 300 or 350. That's what I would recommend. I'm getting so much more flavour out of this than I was with the cherry one in the previous video. Oh, so refreshing. I don't care if people say that this is designed for gamers, for pre-workout, for post-workout. I don't care. I want to drink these when I'm in the mood for a refreshing beverage, because this is really nice. It is much stronger than the cherry one, I'll admit that much. And also, one thing I've noticed, the more you get to the bottom, like of the shaker, the more flavour there is, which is weird. And I shook it for about 45 seconds. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is much stronger than the cherry one. However, I am going to try next time when I do the apple one, I am going to try 300 milliliters of water. Maybe it might just be me, but maybe these ones aren't designed for like these ones, these shakers. Maybe they're designed for the much smaller ones that they have on their website. So if that's the case, I might, well, that wouldn't make any sense either. I mean, it would only be like if I hide or try to hide the top of it, it would only be that big that you're seeing at the bottom there. It would only be that big, so it wouldn't make a difference, but maybe it's not designed for a shaker like this. But to be honest, let's get onto the flavor. Okay, I'm not gonna waste my time anymore. So the raspberry one, okay, what do I think about it? Similar to cherry one, I thought it was very refreshing to an extent. Okay, I will fully admit this. These are not as strong as Sneak. Okay, these are not as strong as Sneak. Sneak flavors are incredibly strong with flavor, no matter how much water you put in there. I put roughly 500. No, I don't. I put 400, 450 milliliters of water when it comes to Sneak, and the flavor is still incredibly strong. These are much weaker than Sneak. Now, it's not very fair to compare these to other energy drink brands, okay? But when you're doing a review, that it tends to happen. You tend to compare certain beverages or certain formulas like these to other formulas out there, like G Fuel, Sneak, Wraith, all those other reviews, energy drink formula brands out there. So, if you say it's unfair for me to compare this to other ones out there and say that it's much weaker than Sneak and that, just be warned, that's part of doing a review. You don't have to, but comparing these to other ones, that's part of doing reviews and that. If you don't like it, or if you want to compare the flavor to other ones, that's part of like the job when it comes to reviewing. It's not a job for me, I just do this on a hobby. But yeah, this is not as strong. It goes to the same as the cherry one as well, and this is saying I haven't tried the apple one yet. These are not as strong as the Sneak ones that I have had. Now, they do have a raspberry kind of from Sneak, but that's blue raspberry, and that is very strong. They do have a cherry bomb, but they haven't released them in a while, I believe. I think it's cherry bomb anyway. And I have had the cherry bomb one, and the cherry bomb one is so much stronger in flavor than this. Now, not to say these are bad, these are actually really nice, I'm not gonna lie, but they are not as strong in flavor as Sneak. Now, that is a bit harsh for me to say, because I haven't had the apple one yet. So once I've had the apple one, I can give my final thoughts on Razorwire Energy formula. Now, YouTuber by the name of Everyday Food Reviews, they did a energy drink formula as well. I can't remember which one it was, so I'll have to put a screenshot of what the video is that I'm talking about. And they made the same error. Well, I made the error that they did. I put too much water in. And given that being that I've now put in 350 milliliters of water in, if it requires any less than 300 milliliters of water to make the flavor come out, then I'm sorry, but you're better off going for Sneak. And I doubt that Razorwire Energy is watching, but unfortunately, you have to make the flavors a little bit stronger. Now, it does have a lot more ingredients and vitamins and that kind of stuff than the average Joe that I'm looking at right now. However, if I have to put less than 300 milliliters of water in to make these flavors come to life, then I'm sorry, but you're better off going to either Sneak or possibly G Fuel. Now, I haven't had any G Fuel because I don't want any G Fuel at the moment, really, because they haven't got like the best deals and brands going on at the moment by the time this is being recorded anyway. So when I do the apple flavor, I will then say what my final thoughts on Razorwire is. Now, I don't want to be harsh, okay? Once I've done the apple one, then I can be as harsh as I want. But they're not terrible, I'll admit that much. I've only done 2 flavors, and these 2 flavors right now, they are not terrible. They are actually surprisingly good. They're not amazing, but they are very good if you're looking for a drink that's very refreshing. However, if I have to put less than 300 milliliters of water in just to get the most flavor out of it, then I'm sorry. And while yes, that's what realistically happens, you put less water in, it's going to be more chalky and more flavor. But I don't really want that. I like the flavor to be strong no matter what. I mean, more water you put in, the more weaker it's going to get. But that hasn't been an excuse for Sneak. I put 450 milliliters of water in my shaker for Sneak. The flavor's still incredibly strong no matter what. So maybe it's just me because I've had Sneak since last December. So maybe I'll have to get used to these, but until then, I can't say any more until I've tried the apple one, which is what I'm going to be doing in the next episode, trying the apple one, and then giving my final thoughts. But anyway, if I were to give the raspberry one a review, it's going to be a 7 out of 10, the same as the cherry one, nothing realistically special. It is very nice, don't get me wrong, but there needs to be a bit of improvement, but I'll wait until the apple one. before I start giving any harsh comments on what I think about it, because that's just part of the review cycle. You're harsh on some things and you don't agree with other things really. And hell, while I still have one of the flavors available, maybe I can possibly compare which one's better. But for now, I'm not going to. And I'm going to see you all in the next review that we do. And yeah, see you all later.